can see, I am out and about. I didn't go to my son's football game tonight. I should have gone. I was going to go to my nephew's football game, actually, excuse me, and he played a little farther than what I wanted to travel. So I went and got me a funnel cake. And this is one of the best funnel cakes if anybody is ever. Now this is not it. But I'm about to tell y'all where to get the best funnel cakes from. If you're ever in the Cincinnati, Ohio area, there's a place called Funnel Cake Island, and they funnel cakes are delicious. This, I didn't even know. I was trying to get some stuff. This is from a place called Royal Bourbon Chicken, I think. It's in Huber Heights. And I was looking for something sweet, and I found this. They said they made funnel cakes. I'm like, that. So I'm going to show y'all what it looks like real quick. That's my funnel cake. And I should have opened it a little bit earlier because I wanted it more crisp. You know, the longer you let your funnel cake sit, the softer it's going to get. But it's okay. I want the batter to be a little bit more crisp and circus-like. Like this kind of tastes more cakier or something. But it's still good. It's funnel cake. Anyway, I was going to get on here and talk about affirmations to help the brain. Because I was listening to Mel Robinson. And my boss had sent us this link to listen to her about positivity in the brain and things like that. And I really like Dr. Caroline Leaf. So I listened to her, how she talks about the brain. The brain can be rewired. So when people say, I have a mental illness or I have brain trauma or anything like that, a lot of times you will write that person off, right? Well, with Dr. Caroline Leaf, she tells you, yeah, you may have that stuff. You may have trauma. You may have all of that, but you can actually rewire your brain. And she actually even shows a picture. Hey, funny dude, how are you? She actually shows the brain. I don't know if they're receptors or neurons, whatever. They look like little lines and they somewhat look like trees. Hey, how are you? And when you think a negative thought, she actually shows the picture of the brain. When you think a negative thought, it turns into like this black cloud. And she said that's actually a negative thought and it kind of disconnects, but you can rewire the brain over time. So that's what I was actually going to get on here and talk about until I pressed on the video. And y'all, I listen to true crime stories. I be trying to put them together. We be watching all kind of stuff. But this is the worst story I have ever heard, probably in a very, very long time. I want y'all to look it up, but it's devastating. But I want y'all to look it up, not to like bash the mom or anything like that. I want y'all to pray for the little girl. Her name is Tamara. And I wish I knew what the video was, but look it up. This happened to this little girl in 2024. Her mother burnt her up over her boyfriend. I'm going to tell y'all what happened. This girl, Tamara, she was 15 years old. And she had been kind of in and out of the foster care system. I believe she was finally placed with her dad and stepmom. And then this girl was thriving. She could play basketball. She was playing volleyball. I mean, she was just the star student, the star kid. So what happened is she was going into high school. And she said, hey, how are you? She said, I want to live with my mom in Louisiana. I want to have a relationship with her. What little girl wouldn't want to have a relationship with their mom? So her parents was like, okay, we'll go ahead. Well, she ended up going with her mom, and her mom has a history of abuse. Two counts, they said. So with that, her mom also has a history of just wanting to be loved, they said. So every boyfriend she has, they're on Facebook. That's the love of her life, all this other crap. So a man walks in her life. I believe his name was Terrence. In 2022, he comes into her life. And she's posting on social media that this her husband, God has answered her prayers, all this crazy stuff, right? So her daughter, 15-year-old daughter, comes and lives with her starting her high school year. Everything seemed to be fine at first and perfect. Tamara was calling her stepmom and her dad and saying, "Hey, everything's great. I'm in a new school," talking about her friends and sports and all kind of stuff. And then suddenly, all the phone calls stopped. But the parents didn't think anything of it, which I'm like, Lord. But they didn't think anything of it, and they thought it was just teenage behavior, like, oh, she in a new school, she busy, whatever. So they didn't think to like send a wellness check or anything like that. Well, what ended up happening was the guy started like pulling his rank. He knew he had a woman who was desperate. And yes, this is pertaining to our parenting, because parents, listen up, because you can't be desperate, women. Don't be desperate for the three-piece suit now, for the three-piece set. It's not that serious. So she goes and he takes them out of school. First of all, he got a desperate woman. She's going to do anything and everything for him. Secondly, he took them out of school and said they were going to be homeschooled. Then he stopped the communication with the father and the stepmom. So with that, this girl, she didn't have no one to talk to, no teachers, no family, no nothing. So he starts inappropriately, inappropriate touching, not even touching, the inappropriate act with this young lady. Not young lady, this girl, 15-year-old girl. The mom finds out, and then she punishes Tamara, saying that, basically she wanted it, she was the aggressor and all that. So as she's punishing this girl, she sets her, that there was a 10-year-old in the house. And so she took rubbing alcohol and was over Tamara and sets her on fire. And not only did she do this one time, the 10-year-old witnessed this several times. And this young girl at 15 years old had to sit in the house. They said when she had 3rd and 4th degree burns, and this ain't even the half of the story, y'all. She had 3rd and 4th degree burns, 30%, over 30% of her body. They didn't take her to seek medical treatment. They were trying to self-medicate her at home. So just imagine 30% of your body is on fire and has been burned. So infection setting in, and decaying flesh. They said they could smell that as well. So on top of that, she gets in trouble for something else. The parents are like, okay. The man goes and pews her, and this is a different occasion. After she's been burned over 30% of her body and repeatedly, the man goes and pews her in her chest. I'm like, are you serious? That was one occasion. So then they're medicating. She's still alive. So they're trying to treat her burns. They're trying to treat her GUN wound. Then he goes and pews her in the eye. I thought they was making this story up. I said, there's no way that somebody is this cruel in doing this. No, it ended up happening. She don't, like, her eye, it was a mess. She is still alive, y'all. So they were like, okay, we got to get rid of her. Her skin is infected. We can smell it. It smells like rotten flesh. The neighbors are going to start trying to figure out what's going on. It was a mess. So not only is this girl, she's burned over 30% of her body. She's pewed in her chest. She's pewed in her eye. They decided they were going to have to get rid of this 15-year-old girl. This is a mother, her real mother, and the boyfriend. They put her in the car and said that they were going to take her to Texas in some rural area or whatever and finish the job. Well, the boyfriend was driving recklessly and then crashed. But guess what? She's still alive. Still alive. So when the cops came to rescue her, they said they could smell the rotting flesh and the infection as they got to the car. And then they finally were able to rescue her. This girl is still alive. And guess what? She's been through like all these surgeries and all of that. And through it all, they said her spirit was still positive. And she said she was going to turn this experience into something positive, and she's going to become an attorney so that she can help young kids get out of situations like hers. Certain stuff don't shake me, I just, kind of listen to and be like, oh, okay, this right here, this story was like, what in the world? I've heard some bizarre stories, I've heard some things, but that story, if y'all get a chance to just watch it, but I'm not telling you to watch it in fear or anything like that, but parents, we gotta wake up. Ain't no man that good, ain't no woman that good to do something like that to your kids. Now, it looked like the mom didn't want the baby in the first place, so that was that. But for you to just do something like that, that is insane to me. And so, parents, we got to wake up. We should never let anybody come into our kids' lives and just disrupt it because we want somebody. We don't want to be alone. That is it. No, 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 no. So I wanted to get on here because I want to pray for that little girl. I'll pray for her strength. That is resilience. That girl was fighting to live. That's why I can't wait to see what she does in her life. She endured that. You get burned by your own mother, 30% of your body, and you still alive. Then you get pew-pewed in your chest and pew-pewed in your eye. Then you get into a car accident. Plus, she was inappropriately touched. And this girl is like, I just want to help people. I'm going to grow up. And I was like, wow. So I want to pray for that little girl. And I pray that God heals her mind. He heals her heart. That whatever she went through, she will use it for the glory of God. Like she said, she's going to be an attorney. She's going to help some people. And I hope she helps thousands, millions of people, because her story is so crazy. It's almost unbelievable. But I'm praying for her. I want y'all to pray for her. I want y'all to pray for her strength, for her mental health, for her body. I pray that everything good starting from now comes to this little girl for the rest of her life, because as a young kid, I can't imagine going through something like that. She has been through the worst and terrible, and she still survived. So let's keep her in mind. Her name is Tamara. If you come across the video, it's on YouTube, like true crime. I don't know if it was on True Crimes, but I don't know, it's True Crime Stories. Her name is Tamara. She was 15 years old. Her mother burned her. She was shot and she was pew-pewed in the chest and the eye, all that. You not Google it. Yeah, if you Google it, it'll probably pop up. But I want y'all to be praying for her. Every time you remember, just say a prayer for her, that all goes well in her life. So I wanted to get on here. I had something totally different. We'll do it tomorrow. It'll be affirmations for your brain and for a great day. But I want all the parents that are on here, and some people have left, and that's fine. But if you're a parent, or if you're somebody who has a little one, you're taking care of somebody or whatever, go hug them, hold them tight, and let's stop the abuse. I wasn't always very good with my kids and all that stuff too, and even now sometimes, but to go that far as a parent, you got to be mentally off. So let's pray for one another. Let's pray for that girl. Let's pray for one another. Grab your kids, hold them tight, say a prayer over them, love them. Don't let anybody come in between you and your kids. Don't let you come in between you and your kids. And I'm praying for you all. I see you, and I appreciate you all getting on here. I am Regina Long with Not So Perfect Parents.